normal way. So Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So this is the greeting from the tradition that I belong to. And I want to congratulate the people, India today, the farmers who've got the entire world's biggest democracy to back down and repealed some draconian laws. They've done it. They've done it. This is a sign for humanity. This is a sign for humanity that end of ultimately your life, my life, doesn't belong to anyone but to ourselves. How we live that life is going to count. It's going to count. Because we don't have the understanding, like for example, when you're at kindergarten, you don't have an understanding of what goes on to university. We don't have an understanding of what life and death are. We don't. And we are not taught by anyone to look at this other side. Things don't finish, right? The nature of the universe is energy is not created, not destroyed, simply transformed. So how you live your life becomes the foundation. So for example, let's say I I overdose, I take far too much alcohol today. That's the action of today. The consequence of that is tomorrow, right? You plant the seed today and it matures later on. This planting of the seed is the actions that we do, the thoughts that we have, where our mind is dominated. If we live in fear, we will die in fear. If we live in fear, we will not even know what it means to be alive. Because if you're in fear, then you may not want to touch someone. You may not want to integrate, engage, because you're fearful. So we have to become aware of what is going on within us, because that influences what goes outside. At the moment, we are dominated by the stimulus around us, and it is getting chaotic. We did tell you several months ago, things are going to get really hot and things are going to get chaotic, and people will start feeling betrayed. And we are there now. How does someone feel who has lost someone that they care for and they weren't allowed to be consoled by their own family? How do you think that makes the individual feel? That feeling is what makes you motivated to act. And some actions are anger. And anger can make you do many things, as we well know. Yeah? Anger can make us do many things. So there is a way of exercising our emotion, a way of dealing with it, a way of transforming it without it being destructive. Anger is like fire. So either you can cook with fire or you can destroy with fire. So if we understand anger as an energy that is explosive, it comes out, there's a lot of heat in it, there's a lot of rage in it. It lasts only a few minutes, but it impacts you for hours, if not for years and days at times, particularly if you go back to it. So this is anger when it burns you and burns the other. Yeah? You don't get much out of this. Things can become violent, things can become aggressive. But there are ways of making anger the creative force, that which motivates you to do something, but to do something powerful, to do something to restore your sovereignty. So at the moment, many people, as I've had contact today, and this is not me necessarily fishing out, there's a sense of betrayal. People feel betrayed. And that sense of betrayal doesn't leave you alone. Need to act on it. Need to look at it. Because it's telling you something. It's telling you, hey, something is right here. And if you don't look at this, it's going to keep growing until it makes you look at it. So, with the current situation that we're in, it is absolutely expected that people will experience this emotion. When you experience this emotion, how can we use it in a creative way? So, for example, the first thing is recognizing that once you've been betrayed, the trust is lost. This is the strength of the oppressor, but this is also the weakness. And once trust goes, you can pretend you trust again. And you can try and repair that situation, provided there is effort from both sides. But once trust goes, it's very hard to bring it back. And this is the silver bullet. This is what's going to allow people to recognize that maybe there are other things that we've been betrayed with. Maybe there are other elements of this whole space that we've entered into that we can't do anything about. What you can do is to change your attitude towards it. So first is to recognize that yes, you may have had some insight and you've navigated so far. But how do those who have been betrayed, irreversibly betrayed, how do they feel? What can you do for them? Now is the time to look at it in terms of compassion, in terms of kindness, and in terms of saying, well, how can you help those individuals? So we will experience a number of different scenarios, in my opinion. The emotional space will begin to come out as people taking the piss out of the situation, making the whole thing a parody, and try and kind of suck on that emotion, bring it out of you. So you get the release, but it doesn't go anywhere. This is not constructive working with emotions. In fact, you are allowing your emotional energy to be drained. So, yes, it's entertainment. We see it, we laugh at it, but we maintain that energy in us to say, this is unacceptable. And because it is unacceptable, we step back. We turn from the trust. We don't have the trust. Trust has to be demonstrated now. This is where your sovereignty comes in. This is where your sovereignty. Remember, we've been speaking about taking your stance, standing on your truth. Doesn't matter what it is, but have the courage to stand for it. In the light of what is happening and the implications on people's health, mental health, emotional health, and physical health. So it's starting with now the emotional health. Right? Sense of betrayal, feeling of guilt, feeling of regret, feeling of shock, feeling of disbelief. These are the first experiences, and you'll see them. This will then begin. What if I do this? Maybe I can trust this. Try and bargain with it. Try and make some sense of it. This is our second space. And the third space is going to be anger. That I expect around January, the way things are moving. So you will find that that emotional space begins to then make people think. And that thinking leads you to anxiety, depression, and related issues. We need to understand that wherever your thoughts are, whether they're future thinking or past thinking, if you're trapped in one of those stories, you will create a situation within your body that brings you ill health. Psychophysiology. Your mind is connected to your body. That's all there is to it. So, health begins with the mind. So, we begin with the emotional space. We begin to notice it. Now, we can react to it or we can respond to it. So, we begin to first look at ourselves. Where am I in all of this? Where do I fit in all of this? How do I regulate myself? So, today's meditation, we're going to look at regulation, self regulation. And in self regulation, there is a process that we can apply. And this process is to do with heart coherence, how we connect with the heart, mindfulness, heart coherence, shifting your breath twice, bringing a positive emotion, and then release. And then we'll go into a meditative space. Okay? This first space, why do we need it? Because in this moment of now, it is important to hold our, become conscious on and ensure that we are not sucked in the dramas, because the dramas are starting to unfold now. And these can be destructive things. Yeah. Violent protests, those kind of things can be destructive things. So it's important not to add to the noise. Yeah, it's important not to add to the noise, but be creative. And there are many ways of being creative. So in doing that, we will harness the energy. You will move yourself towards a positive goal without any destructive effect on yourself or others. Yeah. So that's really what we want to look at. December is a month of many changes that we as a humanity are now starting to see. In the background, you had a massive financial change today that will only show itself over the next 2 or 3 months. But when it does, it's significant, right? So we have to look at it that this is now a transformation of ourselves. What does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be human? And our definition is changing. Our definition is being made to change, not because we want to change it, not because we're spiritual having a human experience. It ain't any of that stuff. This is a wake up call of humanity. Just wake up. Let's become adults, look at life as adults. Let's speak about what's going on, and let's look at how constructively we as humanity move forward in the crisis that you and I can see before us increasing day by day. So there will come a time either we respond or humanity and people, communities, you, I, will be put into a corner where you have to respond. So better to begin to prepare. So the month of December is to become aware, is to prepare, and to take life a little bit seriously now in terms of what's going on around you. Yeah, and how it impacts you today and how it'll impact you over the next decade of your life, I guess, if we really see, or the rest of your life. Depends on how we make a choice. I started with the salute and the honor of the people in India. And there's something to be said about people who are real, who don't live on mass media, who don't live on social media, who live by growing their food, yeah, live by sitting together and sharing pain and happiness. And this is what humanity is starting to recognize may be a valuable asset that we can imbibe in us as these guys have demonstrated, and women. I remember seeing an interview last year of a woman, 87 years old, and she said, I've told my family, either I go back, I've won, or you're going to have to cremate me. And completely in charge and stayed there. And many people lost their lives in that. But it goes to show that you and I, every single individual, has the right to be human and what it means to be free. And over the next few months, we're going to explore spiritual health and spiritual intelligence, because that's what we need now. Spiritual health, spiritual intelligence. Forget about God and all that kind of stuff, religion, put that aside. This is about you and what you be alive as a human being. The sacred sovereignty. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so today's meditation, as I said, we're going to do a little bit of heart coherence. And with this, we can use 4 statements if we want. And this is reprogramming part of your subconscious, so to speak. And the 4 statements are I choose to regulate, I choose to self-regulate, I choose deep healing, and I choose deep intuition. Okay, so I will repeat them as we go on. So your back is straight, your shoulders are up. They're not hunched, but they're pushed back a little bit. And if you can close your eyes, bring your focus to your eyes. Notice that the fact that they are closed, they're not squinting. So it's a relaxed posture with a bit of confidence, sitting with a bit of confidence. As you breathe in, bring your focus now to your body as a whole. And see if you can get a sense of your body as a whole. Okay? Your posture. And if you were to scan your body from the top all the way down to your feet, just see if there's anything dominant in the body, like a sensation, could be a tightness, an itch, a pain. And all you need to do is just locate it. Wherever it is, just locate it. Okay? No commentary. On your next breath in, bring your focus to your inner space, so to speak. And by that we mean what's going on within you. What kind of thoughts are you having right now? What kind of thoughts are you having right now? Where's your mind? What has your dominant story been today? What have you been thinking about most of the day? Where's your mind? As you breathe in, bring your focus now to your chest. And you will notice that the chest moves as the breath comes in and the breath goes out. If you find that your focus has drifted from your chest, you've started thinking, bring your focus back to your breath and then moving it to your chest. And if you were to just move your focus a bit deeper, like you're in the center of the chest, your awareness there, begin to recognize how you feel in the present moment. How does it really feel to be you in this present moment right now? Do you feel settled? Does this moment feel enough? When you're ready, slow, deep breath in, hold, and relax, bringing your focus just beneath your nose. Begin to notice your breath. Moving your focus to the chair or the floor you're sitting on. Allowing your body to be softened, relax, and be supported. Notice that the ground beneath you holds you. Notice that the air in front of you is your breath. And the temperature around you, the environment and the space around you holds you. In other words, you can't be anywhere else. Being present here and now, embedded in the moment of now. Notice you can sense your hips. You can move your focus down your thighs. And then from your knees, you move down to your feet, becoming aware of your feet. And then the soles of your feet as best as you can. Notice that the back is straight and upright. Breathing in, you move your focus from your seat upwards towards your lower back, middle back, searching for sensations. Coming up to your shoulder blades, from your shoulders, moving down to your elbows, moving from your elbows to your wrists. Notice your hands. Notice the palms on your hands. On your next breath in, bring your focus to your eyes. Notice the darkness. And as you breathe out, allow this part to relax and soften, bringing your awareness to your mouth. Scanning your tongue. Notice the sensations in your mouth. And then on your breath out, allow your face to relax, bringing your focus just beneath your nose, watching the breath move in, watching the breath move out. When you're ready, place the left palm for men on your chest, right palm. Place the right palm first, left palm on top. So both your palms are against your chest. And you begin to notice, bringing your focus where your hands make contact with your chest, holding your focus on those sensations, allowing the breath to breathe by itself. Hold your focus as best as you can where the palms make contact with the chest. Notice the sensations that begin to build, almost like there's a hollow from the chest all the way to the back. The emergence of a sensation there. See if you can hold that awareness, allowing this sensation to become more and more prominent. As intently as we can, we will repeat these 4 statements. So you repeat them to yourself and you repeat them 3 times. And the first one is, I choose to regulate. I choose to regulate. I choose to regulate. I choose to self-regulate. I choose to self-regulate. I choose to self-regulate. Deep healing. I choose deep healing. I choose deep healing. And the final statements. I choose deep intuition. I choose deep intuition. I choose deep intuition. Hold your focus at your chest again. Now, as best as you can, see if you can slow your breath down a little bit. Consciously begin to slow your breath down. Consciously slowing your breath down. And now, as best as you can, see if you can slow your breath down Just a tiny bit more. And now, as best as you can, bring to your mind someone that you love, something that makes you smile. And as you begin to feel that slight shift, that warmth in your chest, this is the sign. Bringing to your mind that which makes you smile, that which engenders love. And as that warmth is felt in the chest, slow, deep breath in, hold, and relax. Bringing your hands back to your meditation posture. Your focus now goes to your breath. Simply watching the in-breath moving in, simply watching the out-breath moving out. Stay with your breath. Bringing your focus now to your out-breath, following it all the way till the end. And notice if you can see the little gap before the in-breath begins. And as you follow your out-breath, allow your body to soften, to relax, being drawn to that bit at the end of your out-breath before the in-breath begins. Allowing each out-breath to draw you deeper and deeper into the present moment. Notice how your breath feels now. Does it flow fast or does it flow slow? Stay with your breath. Does your breath feel light or does it feel heavy? Does your breath feel cool or does it feel warm? And then, as best as you can, does your breath have a sound? On your next breath out, open your awareness to all the sounds around you, allowing any sound, any noise to come to you, including the sound of your breath. Follow the sound of this bell as best as you can. Gently bring your focus just beneath your nose, sitting with your breath. Allowing yourself to flow with the breath. On your next breath out, expanding your awareness, becoming aware of your body once again. Notice how the body feels. Notice how you feel within yourself. Notice how the mind, the ground beneath you still holds you and supports you. You can sense where it makes contact. Your seat makes contact with your body. Becoming aware of your hips. Allowing your awareness to move down your thighs. Slowly becoming aware of your body in itself. Moving your focus from your knees down to your ankles. Down to your feet. And then coming to the soles of your feet. Moving your awareness back to your seat. Notice your back straight and upright. Your face is relaxed, coming back to your breath. And now as the breath comes in, we can sense our body. As the breath goes out, we sense our body. Slowly becoming present to the body by itself. Allowing that peace, tranquility to come with us. Bring a simple intention to smile. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few deep breaths in your own good. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few deep breaths in your own good time, opening your eyes.